What is up, guys? Welcome back to yet another anime news bit. I'm gonna get you guys fully caught up on the anime news today. We have Berserk Manga is scheduled to return with its new arc. Apparently, Attack on Titan has a new project coming. Lain from serial Experiments Lain apparently opened an OnlyFans. Miyazaki has once again not retired. Big shock to nobody. And of course, Aniplex Fest is right around the corner, so I'll give you guys an update on my live streaming schedule for that. But if you're interested in any of this news, definitely stay tuned. For our first bit of news, Netflix revealed that One Piece live action has ranked #1 on global English language television rankings on its first week, which honestly doesn't surprise me at all. It seems like there's a lot of positivity around it. It seems like it's it's obviously the first Netflix live action from a Japanese property that wasn't terrible. They did a really good job. I gave it a lot of praise. I'm always open to praise them when they do stuff right versus doing things wrong. But yes, the series had 18.5 million views and 140 million hours viewed. That's pretty dang crazy. Also, it ranked top 10 in 96 countries. 46 of them were being #1. So, big grats to them. Successful, and see, again, not just being successful for the sake of being successful. It's really easy for a lot of these things, especially with Netflix. I think a lot of people can agree with this, that Netflix likes to make things that people watch because they're angry versus watch because this did a good job. It's good to have this company actually go, look at this, we did a good job, and people watch it and they go, you did a good job. Rather than, look at this makes you angry, right? Come watch it, and we got a lot of views. It's really good. I like Netflix kind of moving away from that whole thing, and again, give them props where it's due, and great job, and hopefully that means season 2. I think they've already mentioned the fact that they already wrote it, so we'll see if it actually happens. Technically, it's already wrote. I didn't think how stupid that sounds. Yes, you technically have to rewrite it to fit the live action. It's not that they could just go, oh wait, we have the manga right here. Yes, it's wrote. Anyways, moving on. For next bit of news, the editor for Attack on Titan has tweeted, it has been 14 years since the serialization of the Attack on Titan series. We're finally going to fulfill the promise that we often talked about with you during our serialization. We are planning to release information on October 4th. So we would be happy if you could follow at Shingeki_fly. So, pretty much means that Attack on Titan is not over. Attack on Titan is not going to die. And I think I mentioned this quite a few years back when they first started talking about how Attack on Titan was coming to conclusion. And then, yes, we had the anime adaptation was pretty much adapting the final chapters. Is that whole thing where sometimes things like this, you just kind of have that feeling that it's just not going to die. It is too massive. It's kind of like the Dragon Ball Z thing. Dragon Ball is never going to die. And I even think that Demon Slayer is probably never going to die. They're always going to make some other property. They're either going to have a new writer continuing it on with a side story or something like that. Or they can dive in some other concepts around the universe itself. Me personally, I always wanted them to do the side novel series, which I thought were really pretty cool. But I don't know. We'll see. I personally, I read through the manga. I finished it. I am still watching the rest of the animated series. I'm not that invested in it. I'm sure there's tons of crazy theories they can go with around Attack on Titan to make more content. But still, October 4th, be on the lookout for news. I'll probably cover it here when it comes around, but really excited news for Attack on Titan fans. I don't know, maybe they might do an alternate reality finish of the series or something. We'll see. Kadokawa has released a new promo to show a cast, visual, and January debut for Villainess Level 99 anime adaptation. And of course, Studio Gimondo is going to be working on the project, so winter show for everybody, definitely going to be looking out for that one. For our next bit, reporter with the CBC stated that Studio Ghibli's VP, Junichi Nishioka, had told them The Boy and the Heron is not Hayao Miyazaki's final film. Next bit of news. It's one of those things where when I seen this on like Twitter and stuff like that, it's like all these, I kind of just made a joke on the idea that it's like news stations saying, my gosh, Miyazaki is not retiring. And then all anime fans say, yeah, we knew he wasn't retiring. Like this is not new for us. We've been through this. We've been around this block, what, 3 times now? At least 3 times we've had points where he's like, I'm retiring. And then he's back in the office. This is Hayao Miyazaki. Like, I want to claim that he's going to just do the thing that he loves until he passes, but, you know, there's always that mixed signals that Hayao Miyazaki gives on if he actually likes what he does. It seems like he obviously likes doing what he does. He likes creating. He likes telling stories. And so, yeah, my opinion, forbid, his passing is literally going to be at his desk with the pen in hand, cherry cigarette in his mouth, and that's it. That's that's going to be the way that he passes, doing what he actually enjoys. So yeah, nobody's shocked by this. And there is also a side of me that's going, did the VP, did Junichi Nishioka here say that because he wants like some sort of stocks or something like that, or some sort of finances that's coming to them to keep going? So they're still claiming that he's still working on something because they're trying to fund other projects. It seems like so far that there's a lot of focus on just really Hayao Miyazaki making stuff out of that studio anymore, but it's been a while since I've really been kind of digging into their inner workings, so you have to excuse me. Because I say that he's already coming back into the office with new ideas. Other people say that this might be his last film, but he doesn't feel that way at all. He's currently working on ideas for a new film. He comes in his office every day and does that. This time, he's not going to announce his retirement at all. He's continuing working just as he's always done. So, there you go. Again, not a shock to anybody that's an anime fan. We knew this wasn't his final film. We knew that he's not retiring, but it has to be stated, of course. G-Kids also announced that The Boy and the Heron will be hitting theaters in North America on December 8th. So get your tickets and all that kind of stuff, but definitely cool stuff. I'm not against the idea of him keeping doing what he likes. There is a fear that he's going to start working on a project and then he's going to pass, but who cares? As long as he's enjoying himself and he's not stressed out and everything like that, do it. So, good on him. But yes, I can argue the idea that it's kind of annoying having this whole thing where one news organization says this is his final one, this one says, no, he reported that he's retiring, and this one's saying, oh, no, he's not retiring. Just let him at this point, let's just accept that he's just gonna do what he wants to do. Anyways, moving on from that, Retrocrush has announced they added Magic Knight Ray Earth, Sherlock Hound, and Little Nemo Adventures in Slumberland. So really cool stuff there. I think I watched Little Nemo a long time ago. Was really good. Magic Knight Ray Earth obviously was a great show back in the day. I don't know how well it held up to today's standards, but I really did love it back in the day. Moving on, Deadline has reported that Crunchyroll COO Bradley McCullum is leaving the company. So after 15 years of being with the company, he's finally parting ways, which honestly at this point, it's not really a shock. It seems like that's just, if not every half a year or so, at least every year we're getting somebody from Crunchyroll just walking off. You know, it's how it's going to be. And I kind of expected this when the buyout happened. Over time, you're going to see a lot of these people at the head of it pretty much walking out. Now, this isn't claiming that he walked out. He's actually going through this whole process. They're getting somebody in his place. They have Chief Marketing Officer Gita, and I apologize, I'm going to butcher this. Reba Pragada is going to be replacing him, so it's not as if he's walking out. But at the same time, there's a lot of people at the heads that are going to be moving on with other projects. It's typically something that happens whenever buyout's happening. New corporate office is ahead of them, and they just, it's not the same environment in some cases. In some cases, they just want to move on. So good on him, I guess. I don't think it's going to really affect most people that are watching Crunchyroll or anything like that. I don't know. There is a side of me that's a little bit concerned of a marketing person being a CEO, but it's fine. Moving on to the Berserk news, Young Animal magazine has revealed that Berserk manga will start a new arc in its next chapter. Of course, the 42nd compilation volume will release on September 29th. And for those that are not aware, unfortunately, this is after the passing of Kentaro Miura, who of course is the mangaka for the Berserk series. He passed away back in May of 2021. The series was on hold until June 2022, which at that point, Studio Gaga, which of course is the studio that Miura was working with, had all of his apprentices, continued to work along with Koji Mori. And of course, Koji Mori being somebody that's a very close childhood friend of Miura, somebody that he confided in on a regular basis with plot details, and apparently Mori had stated before that he's got the story that where Miura wanted to go to. Like he has the ending. So this is something that he's kind of decided that he wanted to carry on for Miura's sake. So really cool stuff there. I'll be interested to see how people are kind of reacting to the new chapters. And yes, this next arc that we're going to get into, I think that's when you're going to have, if anything, a lot of criticisms of the purists of Miura, if they're going to be enjoying it or not. In my opinion, it's one of those aspects of like, well, just don't read on. Or read on, and if it seems like it's still got that heart that Miura had, that obviously Mori is stating that he has in his hands that he can work with, continue on. So we'll see. Moving on, Netflix has announced that Kimi no Todoke is getting a third season in 2024. It's going to be exclusively streaming on the platform. And yeah, massive shock for a lot of people. I think it was like way back in 2011 that the last season was. So another one of those shows that's kind of necromance from the past and being brought to the future with new seasons, and it's a good trend. Like I've said before, it's really cool to have these older shows that kind of got left not finished and continuing on, so we'll see. Moving on, Shueisha has announced that Undead Unlock and Mashle Magic and Muscles manga are getting novels. The title for Undead Unlocks is The Romantic Denier's Day Off, and Mashle Mash will be Go For It with Burn Dead. That's weird. I'm sure that's a person, I don't know. But both are going to be debuting on October 4th, so if you're a fan of those series, definitely be on the lookout for that. Of course, if you don't know Japanese, you're going to have to wait a little bit, but there you go. For our biggest bit of news, yes, Lain of COO Experiments Lain has become a cam girl. Apparently, yes, with all the rave right now going on with cam girls and OnlyFans and all that kind of stuff, pay to talk to the girls kind of content, Lain decided to get in on that. It's like, I'm here on the internet, I'm here on the web, I might as well put myself out there and make a couple bucks. But yeah, anyways, yes, the real news is that the COO Experiments Lain 25th anniversary has continued with a new AI chatbot. So yeah, I kind of mentioned this to some other people, that this is kind of that continuation of this group Antique working along with the original producer to just, unfortunately, I mean, people are probably enjoying this stuff and that's perfectly fine, but it feels dirty to me. This idea that they're continuing to kind of just necromance Lain just to kind of keep selling digital stuff. Like, this is a digital company. They do a lot of technologies and stuff like that. Their first project for this 25th anniversary was to do a bunch of NFTs. Now, at the time, I thought it was kind of interesting because, yes, you're paying for a game technically to get these NFT tokens in order to access this website that has this kind of click around adventure kind of thing. But there was additional information in there, plus you also had the chance of winning awards. Like, you could win cells and stuff for the original Lain, which I think is massive. Like, I'd give anything to get my hands on a COO Experiments Lain cell. That's timeless and amazing. But this is kind of a continuation of that. Antique has designed it with OpenAI and voice of Koi font. The AI is trained with the voice of Kaori Shimizu and the original scripts of the anime. So the idea here is they're taking the original scripts of the show itself, and they're kind of inputting this AI, and that sort of trains certain concepts. So you could technically ask Lain about the events of the anime, and she'll know what you're talking about because she's got that whole script in there. And yes, there's a lot of aspects of like mannerisms and how she speaks, speech patterns, stuff like that, that'll also come into play as well. Producer Yasuyuki Ueda stated, "Working with Antique on the AI Lain service this time, I was keenly aware of the technical challenges of AI, the difficulties of implementation, and the challenge it faces as a service. Nevertheless, I enjoy the process of AI Lain's growth during the development, and I hope that others will enjoy the development or experiment process itself and Lain's future growth." The idea here is that over time, every month, they're going to add like additional information into the AI to sort of let it evolve a little bit. If there's like a holiday or something like that, she's going to be kind of geared towards that. But it's basically them making this AI, putting information in it to kind of mold it in a certain way, and then having people pay for it. Yes, they have a monthly subscription plan for it. That was the whole joke earlier about OnlyFans and cam girls is, yes, you can input messages 10 times, but after that, you have to actually pay. It's $20 a month for unlimited chat. Paid users are entered into a raffle for monthly prizes, anime cells, framed artwork, and other collectibles. They also have a sponsor plan for $5,000 for commercial uses licensed to Lain AI itself. So yeah, if you have a company, or I'm guessing also probably VTubers as well will have to do this, yeah, you can technically use it as a license to do whatever you want to do. So if you have some kind of project that you think you can get some major bucks off of, most of it's going to be streamers. If you're a streamer and you want to make a bunch of money off of doing some really cool thing with it, there you go. Which makes me kind of wonder if possibly, yes, if I'm just a random YouTuber and I put on a live stream and I'm messing with that, are they going to come after me? I would assume so, because I would assume that they could probably put a lot of the speech patterns and stuff into YouTube and then pick up that on the copyright content ID, but it's dumb. I mean, there is a side, just like with the whole NFT thing, where I'm like, it kind of makes sense because you're getting something additional if you're a massive fan, but additionally, you have the chance of getting some very, very, very rare stuff about the property of Lain, because like, it was talking about how Ueda was going into their storage and found all this like really great stuff from the production of Lain itself. you have a chance of getting that stuff, and that's priceless stuff, but at the same time, it just feels like we're just exploiting the property now. Like, we literally just made a splash page, put some code for Lain in there, and then said, here's a chatbot, pay to do this experiment. We are acknowledging the fact that there is limitations and technical challenges, but here you go, pay monthly. It feels dirty. Honestly, for me, it feels dirty. But that seems like it's what Antique is doing with Wade at this moment. It's like Antique came to Wade and said, "Hey, are you gonna make another anime?" No, I'm not gonna make another anime. Well, let's do some stuff with it, man. NFTs are big. Chat boxes are big. I mean, I'm just assuming what's going to be next is I guess some sort of program where you can press a button and it makes AI generated art of Lain, and they're going to make you pay $10 a month for it. It feels dirty. At this point, it feels dirty. So, whatever, but check it out. I do think it's really cool, the idea that they do have the voice bank in there as well, so you're getting technically Lain speaking, but it still feels dirty. Moving on. And my last bit I want to get into is not really a news bit, but just a reminder that Aniplex Fest Online is going to be here tonight. It's going to be starting at 8 p.m. Pacific time, so definitely be on the lookout for that. I will be live streaming it. I will most likely, probably 99.9%, be probably doing it on Twitch, unfortunately, because as per usual, YouTube, they give Japan way too much strength when it comes to copyright, so since I can't keep my live stream from streaming in Japan, they will strike me, so I have to go on to Twitch and live stream it there. I will try to remember to leave a link in the YouTube channel. If not, on Discord, I'll definitely be giving a shout out for that, but last year's was a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to actually live streaming it again and check out what they all announced there. But yeah, join me for that if you do have time. I'll also leave a link to my Twitch channel in the description below. If you have a Prime account and you have nowhere to throw it to, go ahead and throw it there. It's another way to support the channel. But with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, make sure that like button down below, comment, let me know what's the most interesting news in this news bit for you. Are you paying in for the OnlyFans for Lain? Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure that subscribe button so you got my content and news reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support the channel more, I have a Patreon link, tips link, super thanks, membership button down below. Greatly appreciate everybody does, and y'all take care.